Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Zarina, your Upland newbie. Happy New Year to everybody from the Upland metaverse and out there in the real metaverse and the real universe. I want to bring you this episode to talk about a few things. First of all, what is Upland? So I know a few of you watch me already, but there are some people who don't watch me, and there are a few people out there who are still like, what is she talking about? What is Upland? I see these videos popping up. I don't know what she's talking about. So I want to go ahead and say, what is Upland? Also, what type of people should play Upland? Because I believe there are certain types that definitely would be interested. Top reasons to play Upland for vets. Like if you've been playing for a while and you might be losing some steam, I'm just going to go ahead and remind you why you're playing, and newbies why you should play. There's going to be a little bit of talk about game strategy because I think it's important for people to know what's the objective here and how should we accomplish that. And then a little bit of tips for how to best start for beginners. So if you're just getting to Upland this new year, I want to go ahead and give you some tips for what you should do. I started almost a year ago, not quite there, 7 days from my Upland birth date. So looking forward to it. Can't wait for another great year in Upland. But Laura, go ahead. We'll go ahead right now and get started. So, first off, I'm going to go ahead and say from Upland's own words, posted May 20th, 2019. Upland is a buy, sell, trade game. Basically, Upland's an open market property trading game where the virtual properties are truly yours. Browse properties that can make you a quick flip and negotiate your way to completing collections. Participate in treasure hunts and live events. Acquire virtual real estate with great potential for future land development. Chat and exchange with fellow players. If you enjoy fun, economics, business, real estate, and llamas, Upland is the place for you. Well, we do have our Upland mascot, which is a llama. So if you love llamas like we do in Upland, you'd totally love it. But you can see right here, I've got a preview of the collections we're talking about. But let's talk about more what Upland is. So in Upland, you can collect these NFTs, non-fungible tokens. What that means is that these things are traded on the blockchain, and there's a record of it, and they belong to you on the blockchain, can be traced back to you. Your ownership can be accounted for, and you can trade it to somebody else for money or UPX. So UPX is the in-game currency, but you can always sell also on the USD side. That does take a little bit of a holding time depending on your level in the game, which we'll talk about later. But the bottom line is there's different types of assets in Upland. You have your properties, of course, like you can see I have Mulholland Drive, 3 of them. That's a collection. But also just having any property on Mulholland Drive sounds awesome if you just like the idea of being cool. If you like Monopoly, you want to play Monopoly, that kind of person, and you think it's cool to have certain street addresses, this is how it feels. I own some Mulholland Drive coveted property. Also, you have football legits. These range from football, like American soccer, um, known as football in the rest of the world. But we also have our American football legits, and those can be traded as well. So you can see in your Upland assets, if you go to your little assets, you can flip through and see what you have. But tons of fans are out there who would love to own these things. So you're not just trading with people who would certain addresses. You're trading with people who are in the sports world who also have like a total love or passion for collecting things related to their sport. So you can trade and hold on to things that are valued to these people. Another thing that you have in Upland is structures. And I bring up structures because you need Spark to get structures. And Spark is another thing that you should try to get when you're in Upland. Holding onto Spark, you can rent that Spark out. There's going to be the Spark exchange coming up. That's another way for you to earn and play the game. But building structures also increases the value of your property to other players. For one, players do need to have a structure to have a home residence in Upland. And so if you want to have a residence, you have to have a structure on your property, which means that you have to build. And again, you need Spark to build. So it's just one more thing that you want to get in Upland to go ahead and play. Assets like block explorers can also be sold in meta venture stores. These are something that people can sell for USD as well, and they're collectible. These are the things that represent you in like on the board. Kind of think of it like your Upland avatar until we get actual avatars for certain experiences later on. These are the ones that represent your persona. So you can pick which one you want to represent you, flip them on and off. But you can also get a custom made one when you reach director status. That one you can get your own picture and you submit it to Upland and can't be like franchise or like trademark or copyright and stuff. But if you have like a family pic, you want them to try to make it your little block explorer, you can do things like that. So it's kind of cool. So these are your assets. But I gotta talk about those things that we, what Upland is. Well, we are, collectors. People in this game like to collect, and they like to collect and trade for money, and sell things. So that's kind of that's what Upland is, right? So we have these partnerships, and Upland has been like fanatically going after partnerships that are super lucrative for Uplanders. These include FIFA, which, we just had the World Cup. Huge, huge thing having FIFA be a part of Upland and have their legit sold on Upland. We have the NFLPA, which, if you know anything about the NFL, then this is super cool to have NFL legits, the actual players, mementos, things like that being tradable. And now we also have the AFA, which is the Argentina Football Association. And again, big with football, soccer, you know what I'm saying? So again, we have those fan bases. We have a lot of other partnerships too, but these are the ones I feel like are really worth mentioning for now, because if sports are a huge, huge earning thing, a huge earning business in America and across the world. So just knowing that we have this in Upland, and that Upland is associated with these major brands, like these major brands trust Upland and have affiliated with Upland as its metaverse, as their metaverse to work with. So that establishes some credibility for Upland, so you don't have to freak out and be like afraid of joining Upland because it's a blockchain game. Like, what's, you're worried about the crypto world. It's not like that. In fact, Upland has its own token that it uses within the game, which is UPX. It's not traded out there on the blockchain, so it's not as like unstable as, like, say, Bitcoin. So another reason Upland is kind of fun. All right, so another part of Upland is racing. Cannot not talk about racing with Upland. Upland has brought the ability to, like, you purchase your car NFT in Upland, and then you can also race it as a game. So imagine how much fun. If you already like racing games and you like fun, now you have the ability to play a game that you can buy a car asset and then sell that car asset to other people, or you can race it and have fun with it and then level it up and then sell it later on. So the whole idea of this economy in Upland is like, that's what it is. Upland is this huge economy of all these different opportunities for people who love to play games to come in and earn real money, trying a whole different bunch of things. So if you just want to collect businesses, or you just want to collect properties, if you just want to collect block explorers, that's your thing. It's up to you. But we'll talk about what I think your game strategy should be. So let's hit that. Oh wait, before I do, one more thing about Upland. They have offered developers and people who play Upland the ability to go ahead and layer on other experiences. One of those experiences is brought by us by one of our players, this team, Upland Gaming, and they've got what we call the legit leagues. It was super fun. You could actually do something with the legits that you collect in the game and use them another way. Playing this game on the internet, which again is a layer 2 gamification. So players are also bringing in other experiences and ways to make Upland super fun for players. That's another reason you want to get involved. All right, so who should play Upland? I think everybody. I really feel like there's a place for for everybody in Upland, even people who don't like games. Honestly, there's a place for you. But if you like to connect with people, Upland is definitely a place for you. It's about connecting. In fact, it's play, earn, connect. So part of their motto is to connect. So if you like hanging out with people, you can chat in the game now with people. You can also go on their Discord, and you guys can make deals, socializing, just talking about what we think is going to be the next big thing. Super fun. But if you're also a loner, you don't have to be a super social person. There are people out there who never log in to Discord and chat with anybody hardly, but they own like huge amounts of Upland. They're like these mega metaverse super owners, and they're like ruling in Upland. Like you can see they're like chief execs. Barely hear from them. Don't know how social they are, but they still are like kings in the game and highly respected. If you're an entrepreneur, this game has got to be for you. You got to be looking at what investments like, just looking at what kind of business opportunities are out there. There's so much opportunity right now in Upland. It's just unbelievable. Like, I can't even discuss all of the type of business opportunities that you can get involved with. But if you are able to connect, like I heard you mention, there's definitely like a lot of networking to be had. So tons of people, not just like, I'm not like, not talking down to students, but it's not a bunch of college kids. There are a lot of professionals out here playing Upland that you can connect with and actually make some real life deals that are, super advantageous for you. Gamers, if you like to play games, this has got to be the game for you. Why not play a game where you're actually going to make money or have a potential of earning money and getting back some value out of the time you're putting in. Yeah, it's fun to have fun, but if you can have fun making money, why wouldn't you do that? If you're an artist, Upland is definitely for you. I mean, just the NFTs alone, looking at the art, the street views, just having an appreciation for aesthetics, and just knowing about what looks beautiful and having an appreciation for art in general, you'll love this game. But as artists, if you're able to design, there's ways for you to sell your designs in Upland. You can register for a lot of the contests and design structure ornaments where Upland they offer opportunities to artists and designers to go ahead and say, hey, submit your ornament design, and if we pick it, we'll give you some of the proceeds that we get from selling this. So that's another business opportunity and a way to get your art out there. So super cool, get your name out there as well. Visionaries, those people who just look ahead and can see what's coming, this is for you. Believe me, the metaverse is not going anywhere. It's like Google, it is not going anywhere. It's like the internet is not going anywhere. The metaverse is just the internet on steroids. It's bringing you this layered virtual experience, like this other layered on experience that we didn't have before. So that's all it is, and people are going to love it. So this is for everybody, and honestly, I think everybody really needs to get into playing it. All right, so top reasons to play. If you're competitive, Upland is definitely fun. If you have a competitive spirit and fierce spirit, and you're just trying to outbest somebody, you like that kind of thing, this is for you. If you can entertain yourself just trying to rule the Upland metaverse while potentially earning real money. So, again, everyone has to do something for entertainment. We all need something to do for fun, to relax, to take our mind off of work. So, why not do something that's actually potentially going to earn you real cash and allow you to chat with some cool folks and just have fun? So definitely think it's worth it. You can meet a lot of cool people who enjoy talking about your shared interests. It doesn't have to be just Upland. There's tons of people on Discord who start talking about other things that they're into, and then they start bonding over that stuff. So again, you start with Upland, but it just leads you to so many other things. Again, you can open your own meta venture and become a store owner in the metaverse. To me, this is a huge reason to join. Right now, it's like if you're an entrepreneur at all, the idea of just opening your own store in the metaverse ahead of time, while the metaverse is still kind of in its early stages, this is a huge opportunity for people like that. You can collect some cool NFTs that aren't available anywhere else. For example, Upland is the only metaverse that is actually mapped to the real world. So there you have it. Langston uses real addresses in Upland. If you know where it is, I'm not going to tell you, but it is in Upland and someone owns it. I tried to buy it, but they're not accepting offers. But yeah, that's the thing though. Like it's a huge, got a great street view. So things like that. If you can find these cool NFTs that are not available anywhere else and say you own them or you can trade them. So it's super fun. Again, the metaverse isn't going anywhere, guys. So right now, getting involved is just a really good thing to do because you can own valuable land in the metaverse for far less than other metaverses. Instead of paying like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands for this sandbox, you can get into a metaverse that's mapped to the real world or addresses people actually recognize, like Hollywood Boulevard. You're going to know where that is, right? Copacabana, you're going to know where that is. So knowing where these places are add some value to them for people to actually like be excited about owning them versus just some random plot in the metaverse and sandbox that no one's ever heard of, XY5450. That's not this. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. So this is why you should play. This is for everybody. If you've been hating on Upland, like, oh, it's not giving me what I want, just don't forget we're in the still early stages of Upland. There's so much to do. In fact, there's so many brands entering the metaverse right now. This is just top 10 that I picked out. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Nike, Adidas, Prada, Burberry, Dolce & Gabbana, Hermes, Forever 21, and Ralph Lauren. So these people, these brands have gotten their stuff in the metaverse. That means the metaverse is not going anywhere, it's expanding. And who knows, if you own a Forever 21 location in Upland, maybe one day you can reach out, branch out, sell it to Forever 21. Who knows? There's just potential there. So the fact that top brands are entering the metaverse and top brands are connecting with Upland, it's just a reason to join Upland and be a part of something that's going to blow up for sure. All right, so Upland game strategy. What are you trying to do? So I think if you're playing Upland, your game strategy should be to level up and increase your net worth to reach cheap executive status. That's the goal to me. Once you're at that level, you can sell for USD the fastest before everybody else in the game, which is after 1 day of ownership. So, can you out strategize other Upland players to acquire and flip the most properties for the highest returns? That's what your game strategy should be. Now, I posted in this a little tweet from Upland Guide who for his New Year's thing says, "Are you closing out 2022 on a high note?" And and it says, "Not to brag, but I have enough UPIX to live comfortably for the rest of the year." So you want to beat that guy, right? So if we're going to be competitive, we want to level up. That's the goal here. We want to level up and be like the biggest execs in Upland. We want to own the most. We want to be we want to own the most property or have the biggest net worth. We want to be up there though. The goal is you want to be at chief executive status. You want to reach that level. That will show, hey, you're the cream of the crop in Upland. You have won the game almost, right? You're never gonna beat some people like Abdullah, but maybe you can get there. But right now, let's just get up to that level. Let's just level up. So how you can level up? Fill in collections for the bonuses. That's one way you can get that extra UPIX. Purchase properties that have a higher monthly earning than other properties. Like, if some are making like 800 UPIX a month versus like 35 UPIX a month, go for the one that's 800 UPIX because that's going to earn you more each month. You want to search for properties being sold for less than the original purchase price. So it's under mint properties. You can find those. I use them on I use upxland.me to search for those, but you might find your other ways to do so. I would try to limit purchases of random properties in random areas. So that just means like if it's not a collection and it's not an area that people like just naturally, and it's not a node like a neighborhood that is being established by other players, then don't purchase there because other people may not purchase there for a while either. So you want to be leveling up. That's the deal. So obviously you don't want to purchase where it's going to be a long time before people even want to buy from you. Try to acquire properties that would be valued in real life by tourists, fans, etc. Try to acquire those business addresses that are labeled from major franchises such as Starbucks because people will pay for those. So even though they're not collections necessarily, there are people out there who hunt for McDonald's properties or Starbucks properties again because who knows, maybe one day in the metaverse those brands will come out there wanting those properties, or maybe just people will want them because of the brand name. Study the market before you purchase. Things might be going wild one day and then totally different the next week. So just because some prices were a certain way the week you looked, they could totally be different a different week. So you just want to keep checking back. And then you do want to check street views. Sometimes street views can be very unique and may actually be worth selling. So like where someone may put a value on that street view, that would be more than the regular price of the property. So that's what I would do. Those are my tips for you. I say as far as other assets like block explorers, I wouldn't focus on collecting those. Me personally, I found them hard to resell, and I don't personally want to put more money into a lot of block explorers because, yeah, the market for me it hasn't been like, ooh, that's a crazy market. People love these block explorers, so I would be careful with buying, unless you know for a fact you have people who definitely want them. Ones right now that I think people do want, or an asset people want, are gnomes, which if you can get a gnome, that's probably what you should go for. But there are things that people don't want, and they other people do. So you just want to know that market. Like when you're not getting properties and you're buying those other assets, just be aware. You might be holding those things for a while before you sell them, or you may not ever sell them. So just be careful there. Play the long game. Upland is more of a property investment game than anything else, and you will acquire properties with the goal of selling those properties for a higher return. That's what you should really be aiming to do ultimately is level up. Like I said, level up, and you can do that for free if you really play the long hard game. It doesn't have to be putting any money in the game. In fact, it's too late for me. I totally am actually for putting money into the game. I think it's worth it to buy properties under mint on the USD side. But if you want to be one of those people who doesn't put any money into the game, I think you're going to have a lot of fun just trying to level up on that elbow grease. So it's possible. You can do it. All right, everybody, it's been fun. Here's the tips for starting an Upland. If you're new, definitely you want to start with a referral code in my description. This way you get a starting bonus of 6,000 and you will receive half your first UPIX purchase as a bonus, and I'll get a part of that too. Buy as many FSAs as you can before you level up. Like these FSAs, well, I'm hoping you can get 6,000 if you start with my referral. and give people my referral code so that they can actually start with 6,000. I know you might want your friends to help you out with the bonus, but I would actually help out your friend, be more generous, and give them my code so they can actually start off with more UPIX. Enter your first property in the newbie collection. So once you buy a property, enter that into the collection right away. You get that 800 UPIX. At least that's what it is. That's what it is as the date of this video, January 1st, 2023. And then you'll level up and you get some more. You'll increase your balance. So then you put 3 properties in the King of the Street collection. If you can get those, make sure you do try to get 3 properties on the same street. And then you can also get a UPIX bonus there of 950. I would say buy some non-FSA properties as well, because you can only sell 2 properties that are FSAs per week. So that's like, that's a lot to be sitting there doing nothing. So that's why I would say buy at least some properties that are not FSAs so that you can keep flipping. Enter your 5 properties in the collections for City Pro. Make sure you get those bonuses. And then you can move those collections, those properties, and also put them in the own 3 properties in a city collection. And then that should bring you up to around 8,100 UPIX. From there, and that's if you start with like only 4,500. So if you start with my 6,000, you'd be up even higher. So at that point, if you haven't reached 10,000 net worth, you'd have to go ahead and try to get that from getting bonuses. Like when you log in, get 300, but also you can ask for visits. You won't be able to sell anything until you reach Uplander status at 10K. So that's why you have to work for those visits. Go in Discord asking people to visit you. And I, in fact, will visit certain people. So definitely reach out. Don't be shy to ask. In game, you can find me on Blue Rain. All right, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe and the like. Thanks for sticking around this long. Happy hunting. I'll see you all in Upland.